John Kitover defeat Darren the Hood? No.
All you got to say is, sir, do you have 10 seconds to defeat Darren LaHood? This is a congressional petition. They go, give it to me. Did you say Darren LaHood?
Oh, really? All right, well then maybe you should pay more.
Listen, I don't even know if I might be getting ripped off and scammed at $1.50 a signature. I think people are just sitting there and maybe filling out, $15 sheets. I think that,
Proving you were lying. Laugh my ass off.
So she's watching. I could post pictures of 3-legged Palestinians. I could post pictures of women with 5 or 6 fingers on their hand. A lot of AI pictures, a lot of body bags checking their phones, a lot of body bags moving around, a lot of people who are supposed to be crying and they turn into laughing. You see, guys trust me, bro, because I'm Jewish. No, I'm not.
Did you say from the beginning of the war, one video only wanted to say dumb lady? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can, but I wanted to say, damn, you're a dumb lady. But yes, from the beginning of the war, what was happening?
Zach, if you don't have anything nice to say, just don't say it. Just kick her from the room. Just don't do that to yourself in the chat, Zach. No, do you gentlemen even have 60 seconds for Toya? I would like to do a Tanya meditation.
I don't have the Tanya with me. I have my Rosh Hashanah booklet.
Well, go ahead. Give us 60 seconds from the booklet. Please, anything positive or intelligent. I like to think of this as an audiobook, and I've heard yet to hear anything intelligent.
How's that?
Achat.
Yachad.
Together.
Weren't your people sterilizing Ethiopian Jewish women
Thank you,
to keep them
Daniel.
from having babies? First of all, that was like 20 years ago, and second of all, no. I think that was debunked as well.
No, it's not debunked.
Ethiopian Jews being sterilized. You can just Google all this stuff. This is dumb. This is a waste of time.
No one was sterilized.
This is a waste of time.
Like,
You're a dumb lady saying Ethiopian Jews has nothing to do with Free Palestine. So if you want to care about Free Palestine, what are you talking about Ethiopian Jews? When you start talking about Ethiopian Jews, you are simply supporting my theory, which is that Free Palestine simply means fuck Israel. Free Palestine, they don't care about Palestine. Free Palestine is the same as Allahu Akbar. If you hear somebody saying Free Palestine, you better duck.
Zach, it's a mind virus. You have to break it with Tanya, something intelligent. You can't just smoke cigarettes and scream out these Free Palestine people are stupid. We know they're stupid. They're not reading anything.
Yeah, it's true. Anything else? Sire is in the chat. Free Palestine. So that means fuck Jews. So Sire is a black guy who hates Jews.
yeah.
I guess. That's cool. So cool. What a surprise. A black guy who hates Jews. What a surprise.
No, it's like basically people that need to find basically a reason why they're failures will use Jews as an excuse for their failures.
Listen, do you gentlemen have 60 seconds for Tanya? Pick a number 1 through 50. This is going to be the last thing I say to the room. Oh, dear God. Here we go. Free Mangione, too, while we're at it. Just another LGBTQ rainbow liquor. Hey, gentlemen, do you have 60 seconds for Toya or Tanya? I'd like to make a positive contribution to the room.
Yeah, free Luigi Mangione. And also, I do invite Bev onto stage. She said she didn't want to debate the other people because she has doesn't have mob powers and is afraid of being good. So she's always available to debate me. First of all, about the Ethiopian Jewish women, they were not sterilized. They were given birth control that was active for 3 to 6 months, and because they're in refugee camps and
Oh, Jesus, gentlemen.
should know about
I'm sorry, but I take ownership for what I put in my brain. I can't listen to this free Mangione rainbow liquor anymore. I'd like to read 60 seconds from Tanya. Sorry to interrupt you. You'll have your moment. Can anybody give me a number 1 through 25? And you're going to get 60 seconds of Tanya. Can't stand listening to this rainbow liquor. You want 13? I think I read 13 recently to yak off. This is called internal conflict. The in-betweener is judged by both inclinations, judged by them, not ruled by them. Also, everybody, take the deepest breath of the day while we're at it. The in-betweener listens to the claims of both inclinations and judges between them. When a physical desire arises, the left side of your heart is aroused to pursue it. This is the voice of the inclination toward selfishness. Bring that passion into the right side of your heart, where your intellect responds with the voice of inclination toward selflessness. Most often, the two inclinations are in conflict. So lift the matter to God, who will strengthen the goodness of the right, as our sages teach. Without God's help, the evil inclination could not be overcome. Since everyone has both good and evil inclinations, there is no sense in being judged by them, but only by how you handle them. The in-betweener lifts the competition to God. This is what is meant by the teaching, I set before you life and death, blessing and curse. Therefore choose life that you may live. If the word therefore is a command from God telling us which to choose, then there is in fact no choice at all. Choose life should not be read as a command, but rather as a consequence. Torah and Tanya are saying that if you clearly see that the right side speaks for life and the left side speaks for death, you will naturally choose life. The real choice is not between life and death, but between seeing and not seeing.
Thank you, John. I have to go back to synagogue, but I am going to make you a mod, okay?
Bye-bye. Busted up another room.
Lived in a time where there
You may want to consider adding magnesium L-threonate to your routine.
Unlike other forms of magnesium. Okay, I'll give you $100 right now if you can figure out. Sir. So if you're wrong on what point specifically, there's a lot of wrong points.
Okay,
so let's start with this
the
one.
two Martins?
Let's start with this one.
Listen, happy Rosh Hashanah, everybody. Shavua Tov. Geh kachen lichtig in dein Augen and fush da Reboinon Shaloyloim. I hope this blast from my shofar helps eliminate the mind virus and the chillism syndicate of loser low IQ people who can't give it up. It's the worst toxic community.
Overwhelmingly younger or female. They're more LGBT coded. They're very focused on immigration. And
Listen, all you LGBTQ Democrats, happy Rosh Hashanah. Can you hear me? Hello? Hello?
fucking knock on his shoulder, we're going to quit. And
That is not what happened, Bart. That is
Hello?
not what happened.
Wait, let him finish. Please, hold on. I want to hear what he said.
Sorry, but that's just a.
Okay, so I'm going to land my plane. The
Hello?
majority of Democratic Party voters are working class. They work at working class consideration. Whereas the activists in the party, they're not evil, but the activists
Call her a
have
gypsy, like a-
educated backgrounds. The activists demand things like trans surgery, women and girls sports,
an actual physical
open
route.
borders. I'm not
Or
criticizing
unless
the activists. I'm not saying the
something
activists
happened
in
on-
the party is evil, but their values, their morals, their ethics are so totally
Yeah,
opposed to the
but
voters that they doom the party to lose the next four elections.
This is a Republican speaking. The shame Democratic people. That was crazy.
Yeah,
What
that's
y'all
some
did in real
leftist
time.
arrangement
Well, he also
syndrome.
moved it to like activists.
So what actually happened in the Harris thing was
Damn,
Harris
y'all both
Harris
together.
wanted to go
All right.
on Rogan. She shifted her entire schedule to go on Rogan.
So that was politically correct. They just kicked me from the room. And they've been doing a lot of the YouTube notifications on me, but they haven't stopped me. And every complaint that they submit, I counter that I own the copyright, the IP, and that these are malicious reports. So, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but more often than not, it's not a problem. And YouTube knows what I'm doing, and just so everybody knows who these people are and what they support and what they're talking about. But we're gonna hop back in. We got a new account, a new private account, and we're going to jump back in. Record, document. Use this phone over here.
The people, the popular movements, whatever, of the right, they don't go against them. They don't correct them. They don't, if anything, they rile them up. They say, yes, that and more, Trump, I'm going to be your retribution, right? That kind of thing. And then it feels like on the left, they're always trying to moderate people. So, like, I don't know, let's say, like, on the Gaza issue or whatever, it's like, it's a more moderating response. It's like, yes, we hear you, valid. And also, we need to think about this, and there's this consideration, and da-da-da. So you know what I'm saying? So it's like the right is like, helping them start their fires on their side. And the Democrats are like trying to put out the fires that the left is starting. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think it's a miscalculation on the side of the left, because typically you want to leverage fervor on your party, not constantly cool it down. Like, I think Democrats are afraid of their base in a lot of ways, because they'll lose good jobs. They'll lose good jobs. That's what happens. Republicans, they don't even care if you assassinate their leaders. They'll be like, yo, we'll just turn it into like a issue to further chin up the base. It'll all be red meat. Like, they don't give a shit, because like the thing that they want is like, they have a clear vision of the future. They want an all-white, Christian, heteronormative state. And they are willing to make sacrifices in service to that. Democrats are not, they don't have the same vision for the world that they want. Democratic leaders, quite frankly, are fine with things as they are. They are not a party of change. They do not have a clear-eyed vision towards a shared goal. And until they're able to articulate one that is agreed upon by the electorate, they will always be able to be taken advantage by any crazy who at least has like a real vision for the future. And that's what Republicans are. They're crazy people that know exactly what they want, which is literally like, by definition, the American way.
Nobody cares how you suck a dick, son.
And so,
We
like,
don't want to have to pay for your
doing the things that appeal to Americans, because we think risks are scary. But that's just how we move as a party. It's not working.
But we'll see. These
That makes
midterms,
no
everybody.
sense.
These midterms are going to be gangbusters. We're going to do it all.
And the thing is that whatever these, popular movements are on the left, there is often a backlash to them. And the fact that Democrats were maybe trying to be a moderating voice to those movements, they never really get credit for that with the voters, right? Like, the backlash is going to happen against, anyone on the left, whether they were protesting for Gaza, or they were the ones that weren't pushing for humanitarian aid to go in, or whatever. Like, they all get painted with a broad brush, by the voters, and that backlash comes to all of them. So I don't really see what the win is for Democrats to be this moderating. They're already going to suffer the backlash of it anyway, and they also don't get the benefit of they have tampened down the enthusiasm to vote for them on the left, and they haven't lessened the backlash that they're going to get from everyone else. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, okay. So I think we think of the Democratic Party as one big, beautiful, sorry. I have that in my mind because Trump has moved away from one big, beautiful bill. Anyways, this is a really big country, and every district or state or whatever that a Democrat represents is not progressive. I think that we're going to have to better understand that there are places where the Mamdani thing is not going to work. And somehow, because we talk about elections primarily in a national way, there's no room for the nuance, right? There's no room for understanding that Marie Gluesenkamp Perez in Washington State is going to have to do something different than, I don't know who's super progressive, Pramila Jayapal,
Yeah, but that happens.
But literally, the Republicans are doing exactly what you just said we can't do. I think what you're saying makes total sense. Is at a local election, you might have to run it a little bit different, but these are the 4 or 5 things we're going to stick to, and this is all we're going to talk about. We can't talk about every single thing. Honestly, I know multiple people came off mute when Bart was talking, which I'm confused because he was Homer a second ago. But honestly, the things he was talking about were things that people in round circles that I was around, that's what people were talking about. And people were like, yeah, I'm not really, I have these values matching up to what the Democratic Party is doing right now. I disagree on this point. So there has to be a point where we look at the fact that what the Republican machine is, they literally are bringing together hardcore racists, and evangelicals, who are very similar, by the way. But the bottom line is, we have to look at that and go, wait a minute, why is that working? Oh, because at the highest level, they're picking, these are the major things we're going to work on. They acted like Project 2025 didn't even exist during the election. And I was in this room screaming that it did exist and that it's coming, and then now they're putting it in place. But truth be told, during the election, they pushed that aside because they wanted to win. At some point, the Democratic Party should be like, okay, let's focus on voters' rights. That's one. Let's focus on education. Let's focus on healthcare. Let's focus on racism. Those 4 should be good. Yep. As a party, maybe we shouldn't bring up reparations because we're not in agreement. Maybe as a party, we shouldn't bring up transports because we're not in agreement. Maybe as a party, we shouldn't bring up these things because the party is not in agreement on a lot of those things.
But Trump did that. No, so the unifying force, right? The person who is able to make all of these conflicting ideas and ideals cohere to voters, right? And become a point of rallying was the person of Trump. That's why I think we're gonna need a remarkable candidate, and then all of our hopes and dreams get funneled into the candidate, and then they say this is the positive vision for the future of America, and we all buy in, and we live happily ever after in a severely diminished democracy.
So why did Al Gore leave?
The Brooks Brothers riot.
No new taxes. They got united behind the party. Wait, was that no new taxes year?
No new taxes is George H.W. Bush.
Yeah, that
Gore
was
lost
the
because Clinton got his dick sucked.
I think Gore lost because Bush was a more charming candidate, and the Chads in Florida.
It's because the Supreme Court didn't let them keep counting the votes because they're corrupt.
I know the point I was trying to make was this doesn't just start with Trump. I think Trump has been the perfect piece to fit into this, but I don't think it just started with him. I think that it's looking more like Obama was an anomaly of somebody that was able to pull more of the country together.
I have evidence that Brian is
I don't
correct.
think Obama was an anomaly at all. I don't know why you would say that. Why would Obama be an anomaly?
Because there's nothing else like him anywhere.
Was an anomaly.
He's literally a one-of-one.
At least
There's no other Barack Obama.
There's three people talking though.
There's no other Barack Obamas in the country. Can you name two?
Shapiro. And
Well,
you
could I
can
respond?
to. You asked me to name one, two, and I did. So if you don't like them, that's just not my problem. But you asked me, and those are my choices. So can you name?
Ain't nobody burning down Barack Obama's house in his own state.
One.
You know, Lisa, I never interrupted anyone on stage, and I mostly kept my mouth shut. But I think Shapiro would be a terrible candidate because all the people that hate Israel, and there's a lot of people in the Democratic Party that hate Israel and wanted to.
I don't know
they
why
would
you
vote
telling
against
me
them.
you never interrupted anybody.
Well, I haven't interrupted anyone today. Is that fair to say?
Oh, okay. Nice to meet you, Bart.
Okay, so today I haven't interrupted anyone, and the proof that Brian is correct, be very brief here, is I just got back from Europe. The exact same policies Kamala to lose are causing elections in Europe to swing the other way. In the UK, Nigel Farage
What
is
does that
about
have
to
to do
become.
with Obama being an anomaly?
Well, the answer is Obama was able to bring America together.
Mhm.
And the Democratic Party policies forced on by the activists today
Did he really?
They can't. Yes, he did. He brought America together. He won
He did.
landslide.
So all those people who were just hiding, those racists. No. The racists just went underground, sir.
And they voted.
I mean, there's lots of
All of us
Obama Trump
together.
voters.
A lot of those racists voted for that Negro and then regretted it. I know I'll never vote for a Negro
lot
again.
of racists.
Yes. Many racists voted for Obama.
Wow. Where's the paper on that? Please.
Well, one thing that I
Racists
point
voted
Bart
for
is
Obama.
one of them.
I mean, there's many papers on it.
Oh, I didn't know you're a racist, Bart.
Bart voted for Obama.
let me
He's
mute.
racist as hell.
And I voted for Clinton.
Yeah, man. Racists be making good decisions every now and then politically. They used to make good decisions. Racists used to make healthy democratic decisions all the time.
Democratic Party was a big tent under Clinton and won landslides. You got to get back to that time or else keep losing.
Hold on,
Why
say
would
that
a
again.
racist vote for a black
Say
man?
that again. Hold on, I
I'm
hear
gonna
what
do
you
a
said.
study
Say that
on
again.
that
What
in
time?
a room, please. Thank you.
Say that again. I didn't hear what you said, but
What I said was Bill Clinton brought together a huge tent and he won slides. And the people that are not copying Clinton are the reason the party keeps losing. The activists that refuse to emulate Clinton guarantee that the party will lose the next 5 presidential elections. Clinton has the only formula for winning, in my humble view.
it's a different climate. This is not 1992, brother. Respectfully, nothing close. We are never going back.
Well, I mean, Clinton's why we're all here right now.
Ever.
Clinton honestly created an environment for this all to
Oh,
talk about.
No, actually,
never
Clinton was smart enough. Clinton was
going
smart enough. I'll land my plane here. Clinton was smart enough to
back.
run on the issue of deporting all
We
illegals.
are never
And because he
going
ran on
back.
Government.
Yeah, but just let me finish
We
and then you
are
can criticize.
I
never
agree.
The policy
ever
of deporting 100%
going
of illegals is so
back.
popular in Europe and in the U.S.
Never going
that
back.
any Democrat that refuses to deport illegals, I
Bart
guarantee
Simpson.
will lose. That's an unpopular statement to say in this room, but I have receipts and I'm done speaking.
So,
We're
That
past
still doesn't mean that
the immigration.
Clinton's strategy is going to work in 2026. Like, come on, let's keep it real. Stop it.
Hey, Bart, I think Bart doesn't get listened to in white rooms, because if I was white and I got treated the way Bart does, I would be talking to y'all every day.
Also, he said he's Hispanic, yo.
I don't know, man. I don't think so.
Still be changing up. That's that fucking, what's his real name? Diego.
Bart is a white guy. He got to be Cuban or something.
Oh, shit. He's definitely not Cuban, because they're a lot less watered down with their racism. And I don't even know if he's racist. Well, let's not even get into it. All I'm saying is, not.
What up, MJ?
So if shit gets like really
Obama
bad.
won his elections because people wanted to see a change in the country, and you could equate that to why Trump won, at least the first one.
Here's my opinion on the strategy moving forward. I think the Democratic Party, all of us that vote on a regular basis, that vote consistently, it's time for us to be taken advantage of. We're not going anywhere post-MAGA. We're definitely going to vote blue no matter who. The party is at the whims of the people that sat out in the last election, particularly in the swing states. And if we don't play to them and make sure that they come out, nothing fucking matters. That's how I see it.
Do you think a democratic process that allowed for a primary would have helped or hurt Kamala? Because I think it would have probably hurt her, but maybe helped the country if she just had to fight for it.
She would have won the primary?
Yeah, I think it would help.
I think she would have won the primary.
I don't understand why people are harping on this.
Stepped up. Harping on what? It was a dull and it was a lull in the conversation.
I don't think it's useful.
Oh, this is the book week. We're talking about this during book week. All right, I'll save all Kamala conversations for 6 months after she gets.
You don't think she would have won the primary?
I don't know. I just think it would have been better if we had a primary.
Who would have beat her? Who would have beat Kamala?
I didn't say any. What is going on? I said I don't know.
Oh, it would have been better
if we had a primary.
I got you. Of course. I think so too. Yeah. Sure.
That would have even split their base even further. You know what? I'm falling into it. Never mind.
Hold on. That's a decent enough combo.
I think Americans like to feel like they had a democratic process, and they didn't feel that way about how Kamala was chosen. And I think
that is a talking point that the conservatives, and this is I'm frustrated.
All right, forget it. I don't want to talk with you like this. You're going to do your yelling thing, and I don't want you to. I don't want to do it like this.
Like, we've gotten along for like 5 minutes, and that's a record for us. So, I get what you're going for, but the point is this. I think one of the biggest weaknesses of the liberals is the fact that conservatives define who the liberals are, what their talking points are, they reframe it all, and then they say the liberals think this, when the liberals have not thought this, and they spread it all over the place. They own the landscape of, describing and defining who and what the liberals are. There weren't a whole bunch of people demanding a primary 107 days before the election. That is something that a bunch of, coonish mofos with talking points came into our spaces and claimed.
Is it
There's
really?
No truth or evidence to that.
Is it really?
Even if it was true, how dumb could you be when you have 107 days until election to take time to now introduce new people who some people will fall in love with and host a primary? I mean, it's just stupid on its face, and it just really annoys the heck out of me to hear that thrown up over and over again. Do you think that the Republicans give a damn about traditions and political mores and all of that shit?
You don't want to do it, but you gave me a TED talk. You can't do this. We gotta both agree not to do it.
Look, I ain't talking to you, Artie. Nobody's here for you, Artie.
Right.
I'm just saying what I think.
Okay.
I'm the leader of this group. I'm the singer. I got runs.
What the fuck is going on?
I go Up, down. I got range.
All right, is it hard to say that Biden just should have set it out and, maybe that was the problem?
They should have
He
primaried
He
Biden.
should not have ran. He said that he was only going for one term. That's what he should have did. I mean, if we want to, he fucked it up. If there's a blame, it has to be on him. Like, why is this hard to say?
And that bitch Karen Jill. I just want to put that out there.
I don't like. Can you not?
It is what it is.
That word. What the fuck?
I got it off my chest. It felt better. I feel much better having said it. I know Jill did this shit to us.
Next.
I know Jill took
Did you get the driver jut off your chest too?
She took advantage of that decrepit man in his moment of decline.
You. Next.
And went for
Did
power.
you guys
and ruined
did
the
you guys
country. I know
hear
Jill
what
did.
Laura Loomer, I think her name is, said about Jasmine Crockett?
Yes.
Now that is a bitch.
Okay.
That chiseled jawed. She looks like a bad guy out of fucking James Bond. What's the one with the metal teeth in James Bond? What's that motherfucker's name?
No, Mel, I didn't hear it, Mel.
I'm a call.
She said she called her a ghetto ass.
Okay, I can
she
play it
did.
if you want.
It's more to the
Play
There's a lot of chaos going on in this room.
It's on
today.
Twitter.
It's been going on for the last
Looks like a
72
brick on the
hours.
Fucking wall.
Very, I don't know. You put the word in your sentence.
It's inexcusable violence, and it just looks like she wants to be one of these. When I say she, I'm talking about Jasmine Crockett. She wants to be like this. I don't know, like this caricature, right? Like this ghetto boothang, like, hey, look at me, I'm some gangsta black bitch, and I'm about to pop a cap in yo ass, and we're gonna fight the white man and the patriarchy, and I'm about to go get my hair did, and look at my nails. Like, she just talks like Sills, she just doesn't know how to speak proper English. And I know that she actually does know how to speak proper English, because there are people who have actually done side-by-side videos of when she ran for Congress originally, and she was like, yes, hi, my name is Jasmine Crockett. I grew up Catholic, and I grew up in a black family, and she's like talking like normal, trying to speak like a normal person as opposed to speaking Ebonics, and like this, look at it.
This is where we at post Charlie Kirk.
It's important to analyze this, though. When Republicans talk like this, they're literally telling you they're intimidated by black AAV, by black voices. Like, they know if you speak white, if you sound whiter, you're less dangerous. And the blacker you sound, the more dangerous and the harder it is for them to deal with you. And so the argument is to remove her blackness, because they're literally getting cooked by her on the mic.
That's such an absurd. I'm sorry. What a ridiculous analysis.
It's not a ridiculous analysis. Being black helps. It's culturally valuable. Sounding black is
the idea that Laura Loomer would be intimidated by the presentation of blackness.
She is.
So
definitely afraid of it.
after she mentioned that, then she went on Twitter.
Got a black voice like that.
Can y'all hear me?
I could get my crockett up.
Hello.
I'm sorry.
I don't know why you hating on yourself. You know you got it in there.
Come on, Doctor.
You have to move him down. You have to.
All right. So after that came out, she went on Twitter and she said, it hurts my heart that we have ghetto black bitches who hate America since serving in Congress. The next tweet was, ghetto, I guess I finna watch my back. God forbid Shaniqua pops a cap in my ass. You feel me? Question mark.
Mel, I have a question.
It's way more than that.
Well, where are we? Hold on, y'all.
Oh, you have more tweets? I just have those two.
Yeah, I have a question.
It was way more.
Now, we're saying it's because it's blackness, right? But my question is, this kind of openly racist attack, it seems to me that it's only they're only capable of doing this with black women. So I want someone to just correct me if I'm wrong. Would she have gotten away with this if she was talking about a black politician? No. Okay, now why not? Thank you.
Why wouldn't she say this about a black male politician?
Oh, I didn't ask about why. I'm just saying because I'm hearing this kind of openly, proudly racist attack. Black bitch, this, that, and the third. I'm hearing it over and over again with black women who are standing up for democracy. And I'm not hearing a groundswell of pushback from anybody, to be quite honest. But I want to know, would this fly if it was done against a black male politician or advocate for the liberals?
Of course it would. You think racism?
Because black MAGA
We're getting on to something here. We're getting on to something.
No, we're not getting on to anything. What are you saying?
Yeah, they call that one dude Apex Shakur. Racism is back. It's just in vogue.
Yeah, it's that Laura Loomer is racist to everybody.
I like what Dr. Particular.
Got it.
I like what Dr. Particular said in the chat. She wouldn't have gotten away with offending a black man because a black woman would have come to his aid.
Thank you.
Exactly.
Y'all turned
I don't want to say how long.
To say it because
so y'all turned racist
black men saying it as well.
Y'all are racist.
saying it because you probably heard black maggots saying it too. That too, Deborah. That's also true.
This is insane. Y'all are turning a white woman's racist statement against a black woman into
No.
black men.
That's not what we're doing.
That is what you just.
Breathe for a second and listen to what we're talking. Yeah, breathe for a second.
Black men are literally defending her right now, Jasmine Crockett. Black men are literally up and down social media.
That is black MAGAs. We're talking about her in this very room.
Over and over again.
About her eyelashes and how ghetto she was in this room.
How many of us here are MAGAs? You just said black men. You didn't say black MAGAs. They said black men.
I said black MAGAs because you running your mouth so you can't hear. Because you just talk.
I'm not arguing with you.
I said black MAGAs. I didn't say black men. I said MAGAs.
Understand how important it is to get off the subject of Laura Loomer and talk about black men. Y'all see how silly that shit is?
That's a silly response.
Y'all, this is embarrassing. It really is.
MJ, this is not about black men. Okay, because there are
particular made it about black men, and y'all surfaced the comment like it was wicked.
Jesus, I am asking you all to see the dynamic that it is okay to be open season in the most vile, racist way against black women who are speaking up for democracy. That is what I'm saying. So if you're feeling hit, that's on you. What I'm saying is,
when you say black men won't protect them.
Well,
protect y'all.
If you could just chill for a second and allow me to finish a sentence, then maybe you wouldn't have to be so defensive. What I'm saying is, if this kind of thing was said against Cory Booker or something like that on a public, national TV show or whatever, I personally believe, and I could be wrong, that even white people would stand up for against this in a groundswell that could not be taken.
Amazing.
I believe this. And okay, so prove me wrong. Go ahead, MJ.
It's just ridiculous to think that black men listen to this and are not entirely disgusted. The first person I saw repost this thing online on my IG feed, which is basically when it first dropped, was fucking DL Hughley. And he's fucking furious. Like, there's so many. I don't know if you don't see the black men because you don't follow the black men, or you don't care to see what their opinions are. But it's disgusting to us. What are you saying? I don't understand where you're coming from with this shit. I really don't.
Listening, because I didn't say black men are the only people involved. What I said was the taste, or I should say the distaste, for this kind of behavior against black female advocates for democracy. Please listen to what I'm saying. It is not as high as it with any other demographic in the United States, in my humble opinion. I didn't say that black men ain't shit. What I said is the groundswell would be different if it was any other demographic doing this. If Pete Buttigieg was attacked according to his sexuality in using gay slurs and all that shit. And I'm not just talking about some rando on the internet. I'm talking about on news medias and all this kind of stuff. This would be different. I don't see people getting the Jasmine Crockett treatment, including black male politicians. I don't see it. I'm done.
I do agree with Sister that there is a particularly nasty ire directed towards Black women electeds. That Black women electeds, they now represent in the racist imagination like all of the failures of the welfare state and the DEI regime and failed democratic party politics and cultural Marxism. I agree.
I happen to think that there's a difference in mindset between a black man and a black MAGA male. And I know specifically that I heard black MAGAs calling her ghetto.
Rabbanu Shalom.
Anthony.
I have a room open right now called Black Americans, Liberals, and Democrats. And we're listening to black women talk shit about black maggots.
Not black men.
They're in the Matrix, though. You want me to start your room out with 60 seconds of Tanya?
I mean, there are
pick a number 1 through 50.
Black women maggots, but we don't really have to. I mean,
7?
It doesn't have to be a horrible law. I think it was just
Okay, this is your number 7 from the Alter Rebbe. Take the deepest breath of the day. Hold it for 10 seconds. This is called using the body for good. Physical desire is necessarily selfish, seeing the body as an end in itself, rather than a means of divine service. Yet even physical desire contains a spark of holiness. And because this is so, physical desire, while rarely self-transcending, can sometimes be steeped in compassion and goodness. For example, eating a meal of fat beef and spiced wine is a neutral act, but if done to make your mind more receptive to the teachings of Torah or to honor the Sabbath and festivals, your intention to serve God elevates the act and all involved in it in its service to God, because everything is a part of God. Everything can be used in the service of godliness. The Talmudic sage Rava claimed that drinking wine made him more receptive to discovering the inner meanings of Torah.
Love it. Thank you, John.
Oh, wait, it's not finished. The same can be said of humor. If a joke is told to sharpen the mind and to uplift the heart, it is in service to God. This is what is meant when we say an action is permitted. It is permitted because it releases the self from the bonds of selfishness. Rava was said to punctuate his Torah lessons with humor. Mutar, permitted or released, a rabbinic category of permitted actions, because mutar means both permitted and released. The Alter Rebbe sees the second meaning as the rationale behind the first. Permitted, released. The in-betweener is not an ascetic. The pleasures of the body are not denied to you. On the contrary, they are there for you to hollow. For example, if eating and drinking are done solely to please the self, their full potential is not realized. When you eat and drink to sustain your life so that you can be of service to God and others, then the act of eating and drinking is hallowed. This is why permitted actions are called mutar, those deeds that release the narrow self into the greater reality of God and godliness. They are not simply permitted, but have the potential to unchain you from the constrictive illusion that you and the world you inhabit are separated from God and the universe as a whole.
Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Did you really call the FBI?
Who was that?
He's just a white man on Instagram.
Nick, I think that's Nick Fuentes. Is it Nick Fuentes?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
You can get angry at me if you want. You can pretend.
Yeah, he does have some YouTube. He has a YouTube. I'll put the link in the chat.
He's definitely the business.
I mean, it can be both, right?
That she's both a grifter and a grieving widow?
Yeah, I mean, Erica, there's something about that kind of evangelicalism that is very familiar to me. There is a performance aspect of it. And so the way that, because, Erica is crazy conservative. She has multiple degrees from Liberty University. I think that she believes in her mind that this performance of carrying on and running with the torch, right, and not letting Charlie's work die, that's a part of the work that God has called her to do. But there's something inherently exploitative in that, right? It's inherently opportunistic. I don't think that she can separate the exploitation and the grifting from the grieving.
Opportunistic for the Lord.
I mean, that's a lot of evangelicalism, I'm not gonna lie. Especially the white evangelicals.
So I have some confirmed, well-documented connections. Erica Kirk, before her role at Turning Point USA, competed in Miss Arizona USA in 2012, then went on to compete in Miss USA. At the time, Miss USA was part of the Miss Universe organization, which Donald Trump co-owned. This is often cited as one of her earliest connections to the organizations Trump was involved in. Just want to throw that out there.
But that is a plus for her base, though. And so,
over and over again,
even though
with
what you're saying
women
is
who are
true, and we know
standing.
how, that looks to people who have sense, the MAGAs actually think that makes her qualified in some way to lead. I know what I'm saying sounds crazy, but I've heard them say this quite a few times over the course of this past week. If you really think about it, look at, let's just put it this way, a good number of the people who are being installed as leaders really were like reality TV people. These were people who were in news. They are people who were in social media. These are people who are very good at reading from a script and saying what they have to say. And so I personally believe that they are there to just be elocutors and not governors in any sense. They are there to be told what to say and to say it in an effective manner. And she would be very good at that. And so even though we know that she, what she is and how she is, we have to remember what her task is going to be. So instead of fighting what she says, we should discredit the liar And what do I mean by that? We need to start using their own sexism against her. And I know that's dirty, and I know that's against a whole lot of people's morals, but they have no problem doing the same in different ways to the left. So if women are supposed to be in the home, if they're supposed to be submissive, if they're not supposed to lead men, then we need to be bringing that up to their base who actually believes that shit. But if we treat her with the respect and dignity that pretty much everybody deserves, I hate to say it, but, we're just going to end up, having a new Corazon Aquino for the fascists in the USA. She's going to put on that black veil of mourning, and she's going to wrap it around our faces and choke us with it if we don't actually take the gloves off and go after that woman.
Okay. I'm just gonna co-sign. Okay. That's all, because I don't fucking like these people. These white fake Christian evangelicals are the biggest threat to every marginalized population in America and the entire world. Full stop. That's it. They are violent, destructive, they're liars, they're anti-democracy, they're fascist, authoritarians, every single one of them. And I suppose a few are good people.
Yeah, they'll settle for nothing less than domination. And that's their worldview and their most deeply held belief, right, is that Christ should be the head of everything. And that anything that is not under the dominion of Christ, as they define him, is, Babylon, is evil, is wicked, and that it's God's will that he should rule over everything. And that's why they're here on earth, is to make sure that happens. Like, I like what Ron Howard said. He said, I'm not against prayer in school, and anyone is free to pray in school anytime they like. I'm against compulsory prayer. It's not just that they want to pray a particular way. They want to force everyone else to do it. So there's no compromising with them. And that doesn't come from us. That comes from their side, right? What bond can lightness have with dark? That's their belief system.
I just came up
also hashtag crusades thing.
I just came up here because I got to get back to work real quick, but I did want to ask, did you guys happen to cover the Joy Reid podcast where she talked about these people in Death League, and the fact that they're just miserable people that just don't like each other. They won the House, they won the Senate, they won the lower house. They're winning these bills where they're literally just picking people up and deporting them. And they're still marginally unhappy. I mean, to the gross point, like you guys had Matt Cooley here, and it's funny because I called this shit out several times. These people don't like each other. They want to come to the cookout, and they can't because they want them to force them. To your point, Malik, they want to force their little their Christian beliefs down our fucking throat. But at the end of the day, because we don't accept it, they're unhappy. I remember when after Trump got booted out of the White House the first time, there was a report by the New York Post, right? Or no, it was an article where they were talking about MAGA couldn't get a date because they're not getting laid. You know what I'm saying? I've never seen that shit before. You have to hide. They had to create their own little dating app so they can date each other. MAGA is not about, they want to force their thing, but they want to come to the cookout, but then at the same time, they can't. And we got, you guys played Laura Loomer. Like, let's be very clear here about a woman who performed sexual acts in front of children at a children's goddamn fucking theater hall. These people aren't serious. These aren't serious people. Sister, you brought up the fact that all these people are just crisis actors, and that's it. They're there just to, you're 100%. They're there just to put up a role. Don't believe me? Look at the Kash Patel interview. That shit was a joke. This man had no idea. He didn't even know what day it was. He used a private jet to go fly to a fucking game, and then it's like, oh, the people gave it to me. You know, you look stupid as fuck, and you look likely confused. But other than that, yeah, love the room. Hey, guys.
Okay, I have another video to play.
Again. Hi, my name is Lex. I'm a nurse. I want to provide a little bit of light as to what is about to go down today regarding Tylenol and autism. Today, RFK Jr. and Trump are set to announce that Tylenol causes autism. There is no science that actually proves this. That should shock nobody. They are also likely going to tell you that leucovorin, folinic acid, is the cure. Now, what you need to pay attention to is the fact that iHerb, a company owned by Dr. Oz, sells leucovorin. Okay? Dr. Oz is also now the head of the Centers for Medicaid and Medicare Services, the CMS. All the corruption, this is the argument debate all over again. Leucovorin is folinic acid. It's a form of folate, that's why words are similar. And unlike folate, folinic acid has a really easy time crossing the blood-brain barrier, meaning going from the bloodstream and into the brain. Now, is there science linking leucovorin and autism? Kind of. Generally speaking, people will cite one of 4 randomized control trials, all of which had varying levels of effectiveness. They had different outcomes, and they had completely different ways of measuring those outcomes. In one case, efficacy was completely reliant on one specific genetic variant in the participant. Needless to say, the science is inconclusive, and way more studies need to be done. And it is definitely not definitive enough for the president to be peddling his buddy's supplement company, because that's what's happening.
Is it just me, or does she got crazier eyes than Patch Patel? Something smell mad fishy.
I'm still over here pissed off about what that bitch said about Jasmine Crockett. Like, that shit got me tight. I don't know about nobody else, but it's like,
What's you, Brooklyn? Were you done, Brooklyn?
yes, I'm done because I'm so angry right now.
Yeah, because